Zanzibar Island, also known as Unguja, is by far the largest and most famous of the islands that make up the Zanzibar archipelago. The reason? It has such a diverse coastline that there are plenty of different experiences across the main island, from the vibrant culture in the south to idyllic barefoot luxury in the north. There is plenty to see beyond stately palm trees, white beaches, and water the color of malachite. We've collected the best places to visit based on our numerous visits. Keep on watching to ensure you're seeing the best of what this Tanzanian island has to offer. Number 1. Stone Town. Stone Town, often referred to as Mji Mkongwe, is the historic section of Zanzibar City, which serves as the island of Unguja's capital. For more than a millennium, Stone Town served as a major trading hub on the routes of the spice, silk, and slave trades. It has served as a unique meeting place fusing the cultures of Africa, India, Arabian, and Europe. One of Africa's few remaining old towns is this one. Its worth as a historical site and work of beauty has won it a spot on the UNESCO World Heritage List. The smell of the sea and spices, as well as the calls to prayer booming over the minarets, will overpower your senses in this city, which also has historic colonial buildings and wonderfully carved Zanzibari gateways. This community is the beating heart and soul of the island, filled with the sounds of Islamic prayer calls and atmospheric twisting old lanes, smelling of spices at every turn. For history aficionados and cultural addicts, Stone Town provides enough activities for 2 to 4 days of exploring. Number 2. Jozani Forest. On Zanzibar Island, Jozani Forest is the greatest tract of native forest. The location, which is low-lying and south of Chwaka Bay, is vulnerable to flooding, which fosters a lush, swamp-like environment with moisture-loving trees and ferns. The entire region is protected as Jozani Chwaka National Park, and it is well known for being home to populations of Zanzibar red colobus monkeys, an endangered species found only on Zanzibar, other monkey species, bush babies, duikers, and more than 40 different kinds of birds. The unusual cries and vivid coats of this monkey are the results of thousands of years of isolation from related species on the African mainland. Butterfly-filled nature walks, a boardwalk that drops into mangrove swamps, and a very remote possibility of seeing a leopard are all present. However, don't get your hopes up too high. The last leopard sighting was decades ago. Number 3. Nungwi. On Zanzibar's main island, Unguja, Nungwi is the second largest settlement after Stone Town. Nungwi, once a center for dhow construction, balances tradition and modernity. You can still see the dhow boats leave for a night of deep-sea fishing, despite the region having seen substantial development due to the tourism business. Due in part to its location near the island's point, where the tides change less dramatically than on some other islands, the crystal blue seas are exquisitely tranquil. Due to its ideal location on the main island, breathtaking beauty, activities, and lodging for all budgets, Nungwi is a popular destination for tourists. Accommodations range from opulent 5-star hotels with views of the White Dove Dunes to boutiques, villas, and inexpensive hostels with dorm-style accommodations. Nungwi might not be the best option for you if you're seeking a peaceful and private beach vacation. Nungwi, on the other hand, is a great option if you're looking for an exciting beach vacation in a location with vibrant nightlife and don't mind the tourist throngs. Number 4. Forodani Market. In the thick of Stone Town, as the afternoon dims towards evening, Forodani Gardens transforms into a circus of calorific magnificence. Welcome to Zanzibar's spectacular nighttime food market, a whirl of chefs juggling spitting pans. A popular nighttime food market in Stone Town, Forodani Market resembles a culinary pageant. Here, food may be art and vice versa. The aromas are fabulous, and the range of dishes is extraordinary. Bring a large appetite. You might be familiar with some of the offerings: kebabs of tandoori lobster, say, or falafel as big as your fist. Our favorites are the fish plates served with fried potato balls, naan, and samosas. You won't need to eat for a week, or maybe just until the same time and place tomorrow. Number 5. Palace Museum. The Palace Museum, built in 1883 under Said Sir Bargash bin Said al-Orders Busaid as the second Sultan of Zanzibar, is a beautiful confection of coral stone, silver accents, and acres of marble beneath your feet. Since the Sultan of Zanzibar commissioned it as a dwelling in traditional Omani architecture, it has the appearance of a mansion. The palace is styled in an extravagant Arab mansion and holds many relics that offer a rare glimpse of a past era. Since the middle of the 1990s, it has become a museum displaying a variety of fascinating royal artifacts on 3 levels, including furniture, apparel, and written documents. Number 6. House of Wonders. The House of Wonders, also known as Bayt al-Ajaib, is a portion of a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but it is vulnerable to collapse in some areas. In fact, a partial collapse occurred in December 2020, forcing the Omani government to offer millions of dollars for repairs. When it was finished in 1883, it was the biggest mansion in East Africa and the first one to feature a lift, earning the name House of Wonders. On Zanzibar, it was also the first to enjoy the convenience of electricity. Despite Stone Town's current dire situation, it remains one of the top attractions to visit. The fascinating displays include clothing, fishing gear, and a classic Swahili dhow boat. Number 7. Spice Tour. Every traveler to Zanzibar eventually goes on a spice tour. It should happen. After all, Zanzibar used to be the world's greatest producer of cloves, and this collection of islands off the coast of Tanzania is known as the Spice Islands. When the Portuguese brought them over from their colonies in Goa and Brazil in the 16th century, spices were introduced for the first time. But the spice trade did not really take off until the Omanis came some several hundred years later. Every year, the Sultan brought 50,000 slaves through Zanzibar, forcing 1/3 of them to labor under appalling conditions in Tanzanian spice farms, where 30% of them perished. Stone Town is one of the richest cities in Africa as a result of the spice and slave trades. Nowadays, a large portion of the spice sector is resorting to plantation tours as a means of remaining in business, as the production of cloves is dropping while tourism is surging. Number 8. The Old Fort. The House of Wonders lies near the Arab Fort, commonly known as the Old Fort and locally as Ngome Kongwe. It is a sizable structure with tall, dark brown walls and castellated battlements on top. The Buzaidi group of Omani Arabs, who had taken control of Zanzibar in 1698 after nearly 2 centuries under Portuguese rule, constructed it between 1698 and 1701. The fort served as a line of defense against the Portuguese and the Matsrui, a rival Omani tribe that had taken over Mombosa at the time. Remains of the original church are still visible and constructed into the interior wall in the main courtyard. Criminals were either executed or subjected to other forms of punishment in the fort during the 19th century in a location just outside the east wall. It's believed that the Portuguese term igreja, which means church, is where the Swahili word gereza, which means prison, originated. Number 9. The Rock. A symbol of culinary brilliance that can be found on the inconspicuous peninsula of Mshamvi on the east coast of Unguja Island. As a vital resource for subsistence fishermen, the Rock restaurant has developed into perhaps the best eating establishment in Zanzibar. This restaurant is one of the most well-known in Zanzibar and a high-end stop for those who want to experience fresh seafood delicacies in unique settings. It is literally situated on a rock in the clear seas of the Indian Ocean. There are just 12 tables, and it's frequently completely booked, but your taste buds will appreciate it if you can make a reservation. Possibly a bottle of fresh South African rosé, tambi, a local Swahili noodles, fish carpaccio with coconut sauce, and stir-fried fish. Life is a beach, followed by dinner. Number 10. Nakupenda Beach. Translated into I love you from Swahili, Nakupenda is a thin section of sandbank just off the shore of Stone Town. What's not to love then? This little beach is a haven of fine, white sand that contrasts the vivid blue of the water. It's the ideal location for swimming, snorkeling in crystal clear waters teeming with marine life, and just staying cool under the intense African sun. If you're lucky, you might catch a glimpse of the beloved dolphins, the local celebrities, off in the distance, going about their own business. The name is just as evocative, almost aromatic as the spices that made this archipelago in the Indian Ocean a success story for the entire world centuries ago. Zanzibar is blessed with beautiful beaches made of the purest sand, elaborate Omani royal architecture, and a vibrant culture influenced by Islam. Which of these tourist attractions are you going to visit first? Also, check out this other video if you want to visit Hungary. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of our top 10 prime picks.